Now today we will do verification of laws of refraction by using Huygens principle. What are the laws of refraction that you know? First law is very simple: incident ray, refracted ray and normal at the point of incidence all lies on the same plane. And the second law, for all values of angle of incidence, ratio of sine of angle of incidence to the sine of angle of refraction is constant for a given pair of media. Is constant for a given pair of medium. It's clear. This is known as Snell's law. It's clear. So we can say that it is the verification of laws of refraction, or it is the verification of Snell's law by using Huygens principle. So first we will make a diagram. Here you see here. Suppose this is a refracting surface. It is just like the verification of laws of reflection. Diagram is similar. Here this is a refracting surface. It is clear. Here which is separating two medium, it is the medium 1 in which the speed of light is v1, and this is medium 2, speed of light is v2. It is separating two medium v1 and v2. It's clear. Here this is AB is a plane wavefront. AB is a plane wavefront which incidents at the point A of refracting surface. Here sigma is a refracting surface separating two medium, medium 1 and medium 2, in which the speeds of light are v1 and v2. It's clear. Here this is a plane wavefront AB which incidents at point A of the refracting surface at time t equals to 0. Since this is the wavefront, so what will be the direction of propagation of wave? So direction of propagation of wave will be this, normal to the wavefront. It will be normal to the wavefront. One wave is this, and here at this end, what will be the direction of propagation of wave? It will be this. It's clear. Let point C of the refracting surface is reached by wavefront AB at time t equals to t. Point C is reached by wavefront AB at the time t equals to t. Now see here, the secondary wave as from Huygens principle, when wavefront will reach at the different points of the refracting surface, they will become the sources of secondary waves, and they will start emitting out secondary waves in the other medium. With what speed? With the speed v2, because now medium has changed. So since the point A has become source of secondary waves at what moment? At time t equals to 0. Therefore in the time t, secondary waves emitted from it will grow in a hemisphere of radius v2 into t. मतलब जो सेकेंडरी वेव्स यहाँ से इमिट होंगी t इक्वल्स टू 0 टाइम पर, वो t टाइम पर कहाँ पर पहुँच जाएंगी? एक हेमीस्फीयर के सरफेस पर, जिसका रेडियस क्या हो जाएगा? v2 इंटू टी, बिकॉज दे विल ट्रेवल व्हाट डिस्टेंस? v2 इंटू टी. सो सी हियर, हियर विद दिस पॉइंट एज सेंटर we will draw a sphere here. Here I will draw the circle, but actually that is a sphere. So now how will you draw? Here you will take a radius smaller than BC. Take a radius smaller than BC. So I have taken this radius. It is clear? With this radius, with A as center, you draw the circle. With A as center, you draw the circle. It's clear? So this you can see here, with A as center, I have drawn the circle. Its radius will be v2 into t. Secondary waves which are emitted from A at time t equals to 0 will grow in a hemisphere of radius v2 into t. Will grow in a hemisphere means those which are emitted from here at time t equals to 0, after time t they will be here on the surface of this. It is clear? This thing is clear? From C, draw a tangent plane on this hemisphere. From C, you draw a tangent plane on this sphere. It is clear? So, here I am drawing a tangent plane CD. Tangent CD. So, you can see here. Here this is the tangent. This is a, here we call it as tangent plane because this is a 3-dimensional diagram. Here I am making 2-dimensional. On board it is 2-dimensional. This point you can name as D. It's clear? What will be AD here? AD will be equal to V2 into T, while this BC will be equal to V1 into T. V1 into T. It's clear? Now you write down quickly. Let us consider sigma is a refracting surface. Let us consider sigma is a refracting surface separating two medium. Separating two medium. Now, no need to write the speed, that you can mention in the diagram. It's clear. Let AB is a plane wave front. Let AB is a plane wave front which incidents at the point A of refracting surface, which incidents at the point A of refracting surface at time t equals to 0. Therefore, from Huygens principle, A will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to 0. A will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to 0. It will become source of secondary waves at time t equals to 0. Let point C of the refracting surface, let point C of the refracting surface is reached by wavefront AB. Point C of the refracting surface is reached by wavefront AB at time t. Point C of the refracting surface is reached by wavefront AB at time t. So, see here what will be BC here. BC will be equal to V1 into T. You write down BC equals to V1 into T. It is clear? From Huygens principle, point C will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to T. Point C will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to T. Now you write down secondary waves emitted from point A. Secondary waves emitted from point A will become the source of will grow in a hemisphere. Secondary waves emitted from point A will grow in a hemisphere of radius V2 into T. Will grow in a hemisphere of radius V2 into T. in the other medium. In the other medium, while those which are emitted from C, while those which are emitted from C will be just a point, will be just a point. Those which are emitted from C will be just a point. From C, dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A, say CD. Dry tangent plane on the hemisphere centered at A, say CD. CD will be the new position of wavefront. CD will be the new position of wavefront, or it will be refracted wavefront. It will be refracted wavefront at time t. At time t. Have you noted? Now you write down one heading. This is the heading in between the derivation. It's clear? To verify CD is the new position of wavefront at time t. To verify CD is the new position of wavefront at time t. So see here, how will you verify this thing? You can see, you will take an arbitrary point on the refracting surface, just like we have done in the reflection. We will take an arbitrary point on the refracting surface. From P, draw perpendicular on the wavefront AB. Draw perpendicular on the wavefront AB. As we know that waves always travel normal to the wavefront. So if this wavefront is reaching at this point P, then it will come only through this path. It's clear? Now similarly from P you draw the perpendicular on the CD. Here perpendicular has been drawn on the CD. You can name these perpendiculars as PM and PN. अब अगर क्या हो जाए, P पॉइंट से जो सेकेंडरी वेव्स इमिट हो रही हैं, सेकेंडरी वेव्स विल बी स्टार्ट इमिटिंग फ्रॉम पॉइंट P later than A but before to C, because wavefront is reaching at point P later than A. A के बाद पहुंच रहा बट C पर पहुंचने के पहले पहुंच रहा. Therefore it will become the source of secondary waves after point A but before C. It's clear? So अगर हम किसी तरीके से ये प्रूव कर दें कि जो सेकेंडरी वेव्स यहाँ से इमिट हो रही हैं वो T टाइम पर CD को टच कर रही हैं, T टाइम पर CD को टच कर रही हैं, then the CD will be the new position of wavefront at time T. It's clear? Because we have proved for arbitrary point. हम प्रूविंग किसके लिए कर रहे हैं? आर्बिट्रेरी. आर्बिट्रेरी मीन्स विच इज नॉट स्पेसिफिक. इट इज क्लियर? सो नाउ सी हियर, you make the diagram. So you write down, in order to verify, you write down quickly, in order to verify that CD is the new position of wavefront at time t, take an arbitrary point P, take an arbitrary point P on the refracting surface such that AP upon AC equals to X. AP upon AC equals to X. If the secondary waves emitted from P, if the secondary waves emitted from P touch to the CD at time t. If the secondary wave emitted from P, secondary waves emitted from P touch to CD at time t, then CD will be the new position of wavefront. CD will be the new position of wavefront. It's clear? CD will be the new position of wavefront. It's clear? Now first of all we will calculate the length of PM and PN. So you can see triangle AMP and triangle ABC similar. Why? 90 90. This angle is common, therefore both the triangles will be similar. So we will not write the proving of similarity, we will straightforward write triangle AMP similar to triangle ABC. And since it is similar, therefore ratio of corresponding sides PM upon BC equals to AP upon AC. Now you can see here, what is BC here? BC already you have calculated V1 into T. So PM upon V1 into T, AP into S upon AC is X. So what is PM? It is equals to V1 into T into X. This you can take equation 1. V1 into T into X. This is clear? Similarly, you can see here triangle PNC similar to the triangle ADC. You can see triangle PNC and triangle ADC are similar. Why? This angle is equal to this angle and this angle is common. It is clear? Therefore, both the triangle will be similar. So, triangle PNC similar to the triangle ADC. And since it is similar, therefore ratio of corresponding sides PN upon AD, PN upon AD is equal to PC upon AC, PC upon AC. This is clear? PN upon AD will be equal to PC upon AC. So it is PC upon AC. Now see here, PC can be written as, PC you can write AC minus AP. It is clear? AC minus AP, you see in the diagram. So AC minus AP upon AC. So see here, when you will further simplify it is PN upon AD is how much? AD equals to V2 into T. Already we have calculated V2 into T equals to, here you separate the terms AC upon AC minus AP upon AC. AC upon AC minus AP upon AC. What is AC upon AC? 1 minus X. 1 minus X. So, so see here, Pn upon V2t equals to 1 minus X. So what is Pn? Pn you can write 1 minus X into V2t, that you can take equation 2. You note down these things. So now we will determine the time in which wavefront AB reaches at the point P. Time taken by wavefront AB, front AB, to to time taken by wavefront AB to reach at point P. At P. What will be the time taken? It will be equal to Pm upon V1. And what is V1 here? Pm here. Pm already you have calculated. V1 Tx. That is V1 Tx upon V1. That is equals to Tx. It will be equal to Tx. Means after what time this will reach at the point P? After reaching at A, after what time to reaching at A, it will reach at the point P? It will reach at time t equals to T1 equals to Tx. It's clear? Therefore, it will become the source of secondary waves. Have you noted this? You write down. Therefore, P will become the source of secondary waves. P will become the source of secondary waves at time t equals to Tx. At time t equals to Tx. Now see here. Here Tx time has elapsed in reaching at the point P. So how much time is left? T minus Tx, because the total time is T. It's clear? Total time, the time after reaching here, after reaching here, we are observing the shape at time T. So see here, Tx time has elapsed. How much time is left? T minus Tx. In that time, secondary waves emitted from here will grow in a hemisphere of what radius? तो यहाँ पर स्पीड क्या है? V2. इस टाइम कितना बचा? T minus Tx. Therefore, V2 into T minus Tx. So you write down. You write. Have you noted this point, that point P will become the source of secondary wave? Therefore, radius of hemispherical wavefront emitted from P at the time t, is given by this. It's clear? Emitted from P at the time t is given by this. So you simplify that. So you will get R equals to V2 into T 1 minus X. And what is V2 into T 1 minus X? It is equal to Pn. It is clear? From 2 it will be equal to R equals to Pn. R is equal to Pn. Now see here, since Pn is perpendicular to the CD, now you can see here, secondary waves which are emitted from here will cover how much distance? They will cover Pn distance. It is clear? In time t, at time t, they will reach here. It is clear? From here to through this point and then here. It is clear? Now see here, since Pn is perpendicular to CD, therefore they will touch to the CD at time t, because this is the condition of tangency. Tangent की condition क्या है? Angle कितना होना चाहिए? 90 degree. So since Pn is perpendicular to CD, therefore secondary waves emitted from P will touch to the CD at time t. Since P is an arbitrary point, therefore it will be true for all other points situated on the refracting surface. It will be true for all other points situated on the refracting surface. Therefore, CD will be the new position of wavefront at the time t. CD will be the new position of wavefront at the time t. At the time t. Now you write down further. Next heading, to verify laws of refraction. To verify laws of refraction. Now you can see here, you can see incident wavefront. This is the incident wavefront. This is the refracted wavefront. And this is the refracting surface. All are lying on the same plane. All are lying on the same plane. Therefore, first law is verified. So, you write down from the geometry of diagram, it is clear that incident wavefront, refracted wavefront and refracting surface all are lying on the same plane. All are lying on the same plane. Now see here, all of you see. Here wavefront, incident wavefront is AB and refracting surface is sigma. They are making what angle? This angle. This is the angle of incidence. And refracted wavefront is CD. It is making what angle from the refracting surface? This angle. So, this is the angle of refraction. This is the angle of refraction. So, see here, angle between incident wavefront AB, that you write down AB, and refracting surface sigma is angle of incidence. It is angle of incidence. Therefore, angle BAC is what? It is angle I. BAC is angle I. Similarly, you can see here, angle between refracted wavefront. This we also call it the refracted wavefront. New position of wavefront is also called the refracted wavefront because it has been obtained after refraction. It's clear? So, similarly, angle between refracted wavefront CD and refracting surface sigma is angle of refraction. Therefore, angle ACD equals to R. This angle will be equal to R. Now, we have to verify Snell's law. And what is Snell's law? It is sin I upon sin R is constant for a given pair of media. So see here, in triangle ABC, you can see what is the sin I from triangle ABC. You can see sin I will be equal to perpendicular upon hypotenuse BC upon AC. And what is BC here? It is V1T upon AC. Similarly, you can see in triangle ADC, from triangle ADC, what is sin R? Sin R, this is 90 degree, therefore AC will be hypotenuse. AD is perpendicular with respect to R. Sin R, AD upon AC. AD upon AC. And what is AD here? It is equal to V2T upon AC. V2T upon AC. So now you find out sin I upon sin R. So you can see here sin I upon sin R. This is equals to sin I is V1T upon AC divided by V2T upon AC. When you will simplify, it is V1T upon AC into AC upon V2T. AC upon V2T. So AC and AC cancel. T and T will be cancelled, that is V1 upon V2. And V1 upon V2, that will be constant for a given pair of media. It's clear? Equals to constant for a given pair media. Is clear? Therefore, Snell's law is verified. Therefore, Snell's law is verified. So, in this way, laws of refractions have been verified. Now, all of you remember one thing, sometimes only the verification of Snell's law is asked. So, what will you do? You will not write that from geometry of diagram. In that case, you will not write. If only Snell's law verification is asked, so what will you write? You will not write from the where you have noted from the geometry of diagram. It's clear? That statement you will not write. It's clear? So, this is the verification. So, now in this way this chapter has finished.